so that I know the angle of the camera. And once I get that dialed in, I'm going to put like a cut.
Holy, what's up YouTube? I am John Brom and this is Vicious Cycle, one of my YouTube channels. The other one's about graphic design. But anyway, it's been a while. You might be wondering where I've been. It's been almost 2 months, I think, since I uploaded my last video. And that's not because I haven't been biking. That's not because I haven't been working. And it's not because during quarantine I just shut all of my life down. Although I mostly did. I was being really careful on biking solo and things like that. Anyway, what happened was during quarantine, my computer exploded. That is the computer I use to do all of my video editing. So that was a pretty big problem. And I had to start using this Mac that was 9 years old, my backup computer. And I'm a graphic designer and I need that for my day job. So I thought if I video edited, I might, kill the backup and then I would have no computer to do my day job. So I had to put these videos on hold, but now we're back. So because I was making my way through this backlog for so long of all these fat biking videos, I made this video that I thought would be really interesting, and that is I got a new hook for my Stuntman Chest Harness called a J hook, I believe, and it would allow me to get a better angle. And that's because I'm using the Hero8 now and I'm not using the gimbal like I did all last summer for mountain biking. The problem with it was it's hard to get the angle exactly where you want, and I know I can bring out the iPhone and check my footage every time I go biking to make sure it's at the right angle, but that's a huge pain in the butt. So I wanted to figure out a way. I'm doing a little bit of a Casey Neistat style hack to make sure that I'm getting exactly the shot I want every time, without having to pull out my phone or do any of that kind of stuff. So this film was actually recorded back in January, and because of the backlog, because of my computer dying, that's where we're at. So we're going to rewind all the way to January, and don't worry, I think I'll just next video will fast forward through the fat biking and hit the summer. Because now it's like 30 something degrees out and I'm sweating. Okay, let's get into the video.
What's going on, YouTube? It's freezing cold. It's -10, but with the wind chill it feels like -17. And I'm going to go fat biking. I got my dropper lever fixed. And I'm testing out the new Stuntman J hook that I have on here. So I explained in another video that I put tape here so that I know the angle of the camera. And once I get that dialed in, I'm going to put like a cut and a little paint line so that I can get the exact angle every time so that I don't accidentally film my boots or my wheel. So I'm going to ride around for a minute and make sure that I have that angle right. All right, here's test number 3. The first two were a little too high. You couldn't see the handlebars. I want to be able to see just the handlebars, maybe this logo. That's about it. So this is my seat down, this is me standing, and this is my seat all the way up. And we'll see how that looks. Okay, that last test looked decent. So we're gonna, oh boy, this is gonna be a rough one, I think, today. So last night, we got like a foot of snow. So these trails have been really greatly groomed, and I haven't got a chance to get out in the last week. And now that we got a foot of snow, I knew we were in for trouble. But Live Outside posts on their Instagram, and I saw that people were snowshoeing. So I was hoping that that maybe the snowshoeing would be enough that I could ride. It's not looking good. Okay, so apparently this is just a parking lot GoPro angle test video, this part of it anyway, because the snow is too deep. It snowed like a foot last night and I can't get any traction whatsoever, even with big 4.8 inch tires, and I'm riding at like 4 maybe PSI, and I got nothing. It's just, they need to be groomed again, and Liv does an amazing job grooming them. It's just that it's Sunday and they didn't get out last night, obviously. So just gonna ride around the parking lot, get this angle right. Okay, so it's worth noting that Super View allows you to capture more in every direction, basically. So this is with my seat down, this is me standing, this is seat up, just riding as straight as I can. You're gonna have it dialed in. It took like 10 or so takes to try and get the angle just right. I'm a little surprised. It's really quite, it's almost parallel. Like this plastic is almost parallel with the fingers from the actual GoPro, but not quite. So I'm going to mark a little line across there, and that way I can probably get it just exactly in the same spot every time. But this seems to be the pretty good angle. at least for this bike, for the fat bike. We'll see in the summer on my Kona bike, but they should have similar enough angle. Somehow I want to mark this so that it's pretty permanent, and I'm thinking that just a marker on its own can just still wipe off because it's going on plastic, so it's not going to stay. Theoretically, I'd rather not do something that's permanent like this, especially in case I make a mistake. But the good news is that this piece is like, I don't know, $10 or $15, and you can buy these like the 2 fingers for the GoPro for not very expensive either. So if I mess it up too bad, I can technically replace it. So I'm going to take this tape off because I don't need it. And I'm thinking that if I don't mess this up, I'd rather just like tick one side lightly, just a little, and then call it a day at that. And then I can always make a separate mark on the other side for my Kona summer bike, just in case the angle's a little different. There we go. That's pretty good. Let's just make sure it's definitely here. Technically, I don't even need to paint that, but maybe it'll just fill it in, keep it from getting messed up. Alright, so the idea is I'll let that dry, and let that dry, and I'll know by putting it in there when those 2 pieces line up. So now I know when this goes in here, like so, clearly that's not in line, that's not in line, no, that's in line. Right there, boom, perfectly lined up. That's the angle I want for fat biking. Bam! Beautiful.